last year was a series of leaked information that show how the alcohol industry bribed Congress to demonize marijuana. Now, this has been happening for decades, but since legalizing marijuana has taken steam in states like Colorado and now recently California have legalized recreational marijuana, the alcohol industry is really doubling down, and it's the big alcohol companies. If you enjoy drinking, I'd stay away from the Budweiser folks and those types. Here's some great statistics, though. Alcohol is responsible for approximately 88,000 deaths a year in the United States. Marijuana, goose egg. Boom. 0. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink either. But weed should be legalized. We should tax it. The tax revenues could pay a bunch of things. Alcohol. I do a bit of my act. How alcohol makes people want to fight and be problematic. And I used to be a shithead when I drank. That's why I stopped. I didn't like who I was. I was in a relationship with someone who rarely drank, and then she started drinking every day and became violent and verbally abusive. It was crazy. It was scary. It was like a different person just from drinking. She might have been doing other things, but definitely was drinking every day. So you can go. Let's go back here a little bit. Early in the 1900s, it was considered perfectly acceptable to grow and harvest cannabis. But then the Great Depression came along and marijuana was banned in over 20 states. Now, the Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper, and many of you know this. The cannabis plant can be used for a number of applications, not limited to industrial, clothes, and medicine, but yet is always denounced in the mainstream media. Who buys ad time in the mainstream media? Bring out your Budweiser. Watch, right? Especially during, sporting events like the football is just all beer, booze, beer. It's all the liquor companies that do this. So here is the cannabis industry website, marijuana.com, dug through hundreds of leaked DNC emails for any reference to the misunderstood herb. What they found in the May 24th, 2016 edition of Huddle, which is a daily e-newsletter for Capitol Hill insiders produced by the Politico website. There was a paid advertisement from the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of America that said this: while neutral on the issue of legalization, the WSWA, that's the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of America, the WSWA believes states that legalize marijuana need to ensure appropriate and effective regulations are enacted to protect the public from the dangers associated with the abuse and misuse of marijuana. In the years since the state legalized medical use, Colorado law enforcement officials have documented significant increase in traffic fatalities in which drivers tested positive for marijuana. Congress should fully fund, and they think, oh, wow, is that bullshit? Really? How many people die every year from alcohol, from drunk driving? Come on. Oh, oh God. So there is, oh God. And according to High Times Magazine, the government will conduct a year-long investigation and make recommendations, including an impairment standard for driving under the influence of marijuana as required by the Fixing America's Surface Transportation Act, which President Obama signed last December. In a press release, the WSWA said the following about the legislation: there is currently no scientific consensus regarding the level at which marijuana consumption impairs a driver and no effective way to measure this impairment in the field. Oh, it's madness. There sure is a way to do it with booze. This is problematic for law enforcement who, in contrast, can quickly and effectively establish a scientifically and legally supported measure of alcohol impairment. Oh, they're just worried their profits are going to get cut into. Here's a statistic that there's no way the alcohol industry enjoys. In Colorado, in the 2 years that they've had recreational marijuana has been legalized, teen alcohol and hard drug use has dropped. Wait a minute. You mean there's not a whole new generation of alcohol drinkers? They're smoking weed. That's hurting our profits. That's got to be their thinking. But that's just teen drinking and hard drug use. Cocaine, methamphetamines, all that shit has gone down since marijuana has been legalized. You ever seen anybody on weed want to get into a fight and do something crazy? No. They just sit around and want to play video games and giggle. They're really harmless. This is Morgan Fox, the communications director for the Marijuana Policy Project, says this: no one should be driving while impaired by marijuana, and we should certainly be doing more research into all aspects of the substance, including its impact on driving. However, given that driving under the influence of marijuana is already illegal, and that the existing research shows marijuana's effect on driving ability is significantly less than alcohol, it is difficult to see a legitimate reason for the alcohol industry to be taking up this issue. It's funny. It would be better to fund research on how to decrease drunk driving. Yeah. What Morgan said. So, it's a thing that's very much misunderstood. And the WSWA failed to mention that in 2011, a study found a reduction in traffic fatalities in states that had legalized medical marijuana. Because they're not driving all crass, fast, and crazy. Crassed and phasey. Oh, big corporations. Always the same. Always the same tactics. Always the same motivation. It does not matter. If we're talking about weapons or oil or alcohol, it doesn't matter. Big corporations act and operate the same way. They're so easy to spot now. Thanks for watching the show. If you want to support the show, there's many ways to do though. The Patreon link is below. I have upcoming shows in January and February out in San Bernardino for my TV show. We renamed the title. They wanted to rename the title. Now it's called First Nations Comedy Experience, but it's all at GrahamElwood.com. If you're going to do some shopping on Amazon, please use my affiliate link. Doesn't cost you any extra money. It just takes a little more money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and puts it into mine. And like I said, the Patreon link. You guys are awesome. I just hired a new producer. She's doing more stuff for me, so it's given me more time, and I like that to do more stuff, do more research, whatever, to help build stuff for the show of releasing more of the podcasts and all that business. Thanks for supporting the show, and happy holidays. Look at that shiny Christmas tree. Sorry, holiday bush.